Guten Tag, everyone. It's your boy Blah here with IronCross Racing, and I'm taking this to the extreme. Guten Tag, everyone. It's your boy Blah here with IronCross Racing, and I'm coming to you from my garage today. So I'm trying a new setup today. Kind of still getting kind of used to it. I bought the Smooth Mobile gimbal. So it's a 3-axis gimbal that you could use with your cell phone. I also got a Rode external mic kind of plugged in and at the base of it. So I'm trying out a few things with it. So bear with me as I'm getting used to the gimbal action. It's so smooth. The primary thing that I'm having to get used to is looking at the little camera off to the side when you have this big screen over here that you could actually see yourself and the action, etc. So it's very noticeable. So if I'm not looking directly at you and I'm looking over here, don't take it personal. It's just distracting. Anyways, let's get to it. So I wanted to take today to kind of go over some of the things on my bike, the Silver Bullet, that I've installed and didn't necessarily show the installation on. I have a few modifications and upgrades that I'm going to be doing in the coming months, coming weeks actually, months too. I got something big, like I kind of alluded to with the FMB choppers part that just came in for me. I'm also looking into completing the stage 1 kit for the Harley Road King, which is ultimately just an air intake and a tuner. I already have the RCX exhaust, a 4.5-inch exhaust with the Gatling tips. I was kind of debating whether or not to go with the stage 1. And eventually I also want to do a stage 2, which is a cam. They have two different cams you can get. One's a performance cam, the other one's a torque cam. I'll probably go with this torquey one because this isn't necessarily a race bike. So kind of looking for just a little bit more torque. And I'm also debating whether or not I want to keep the RCX exhaust or do something different. So the style I really wanted to go with the bike, since it's kind of going with that Cali style with this illustrious rim here. Ooh, look at that rim. Anyways, is a kind of a Cali style, and the pipes that most people go with that is the fishtail exhaust. They sound great. Performance-wise, though, they're horrible just because they're very restrictive. So I'm still debating on all that. If I just want to take the performance hit for the looks, or go with performance and just don't care about how it looks. Ooh, Big Mac coming up the second time. It's always better the second time. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into this. So one thing, if you could bear with me, one thing that I installed when I put the rim and tire package on was this Kuryakyn, this thing here. It's just a caliper cover. It's chrome. The stock calipers are just black with a little bit of silver mesh. And I just wanted to kind of give a little bit more of a chromed out look to the bike. So I went ahead and got those. Those are pretty straightforward to install. Let's see if I can get down here. Whee, where are we going? Okay, so if you can see right here, we got these acorn nuts. These are actually covers. It just literally just bolts on top of the existing caliper. So that was pretty straightforward. Now the other thing I actually added to is this axle cover. There we go. This axle cover right here. It's also made by Kuryakyn. It's kind of a twisted, I don't know. It's kind of a twisted point. It's one of the ones in their series. Kind of has a nice look to the whole front of the bike. Actually have an update on this rim as far as performance. I'm going to be covering that in a future episode, but I did have an issue, not necessarily with the rim or tire, but with these rotors. So I'm going to be kind of covering that in a bit. Okay, let's see what else we got. We have, it's a ceiling. Oh, look at that sexy car back there. G-Money, baby. G-Money. Okay. So the other thing I installed, right after I got the bike, like I said, right after I got the bike, I was a little bit new. Wasn't really new, but just touring bikes in general and Harley Davidson, sometimes it can be kind of known for buffeting. So with the windshield on the Road King, it definitely had some buffeting at certain speeds. So I went out and got right here. So these, they're made by Harley Davidson. I think there's a couple other manufacturers that make them. They call them the Fangs. That's not the official name, but that's kind of what the guys in the forums call them. Because they kind of have like a fang look to them, and they just kind of bolt onto the, you can kind of see right there. They kind of bolt just on the side of the fork. And they do a really good job with preventing the wind or pushing the wind, kind of curving it out because it actually curves forward. And keeping the wind, because the wind that's actually buffeting is coming underneath the windshield and going up and hitting your head. A lot of times people think it's coming over the top, causing a buffeting, but it's actually buffeting coming from down below. And I added this, and the buffeting went away. I get a little bit of buffeting now, I think around, I don't know, 75 or 80. But anything up to that, and it's totally fine. So really enjoyed that upgrade. Okay, what else do we got here? So the other thing I installed was these, again, Kuryakyn. This episode's brought to you by Kuryakyn. I just really like the Kuryakyn product. The price point's decent. I mean, it's actually really good, actually. And they have a big selection of product, and I like the styles. And as long as they hold up, which so far, everything I've gotten from Kuryakyn has been stellar. No problems with chrome, no problems with fitment, no problems with braking. Couldn't say better things about Kuryakyn. I'm not sponsored by Kuryakyn in any way, shape, or form. But like I said, they just make good products, and I've gotten a lot of little knickknacks on my bike with Kuryakyn. Okay, so these are the ISO Longhorn highway foot pegs. They're really cool because, I don't know if I can get, there we go. You can see here that they kind of curve out away from the crash bar, and you can rotate that. This is going back because I got little stubby legs. For somebody that's 5'10", I'm all torso and short legs. Or you could rotate it forward, and if you have really long legs, it has a lot of custom, adjustment with it, which I really dig. I said dig. So really everything in between. So as opposed to just getting a clamp-on peg that can just slide one way or the other, this one's really nice because you can kind of adjust it all over the place. And they've been working out great. What else do I got? Here's another item, real quick. This is the passenger little pedestal footrest. And I added a chrome cover on the outside, which is, once again, Kuryakyn. Woo! And that was more just aesthetics because this piece here is black. Since I'm a chrome whore and my bike is blurry. There we go. And my bike is mostly chrome, and I kind of decided to go the chrome route because my bike's silver, and I was doing the Cali front rim, the fat spoke rim. Just decided to kind of do a lot more of these little chrome accents here and there. And another item I added was this Kuryakyn bar end. More Kuryakyn! Dude, give me a sponsorship, man. Please. So anyways, these are ISO grips. The Kuryakyn ISO grips. These were already on the bike when I bought it. Because I bought the Silver Bullet used. It had about 3,700 miles on it when I bought it. I bought it at the end of 2017. It was a 2017, so whoever had the silver bullet before me had it for a very short time, and then who knows? Traded it in or decided they couldn't get it. Lucky for me, because the bike was in really good shape. Okay, so anyways, these just have 4 bolts, and it just kind of attaches, bloop, and fits really well. And I just kind of finished the end, because usually these are just flush, but I figured those would go well with the D's. Bloop. The do dip it. Okay. What else? What else? So another little mod I did was, I don't have it on here right now because I was kind of test fitting something that I can't talk about right now. Anyways, I have, I don't have it on right at this second, but I have a RAM mount that holds my cell phone. But on one of our longer rides, I decided, I think it was when we went to Big Bend, I added this power cord. Because if you're using GPS or anything of that nature, you know, your phone goes dead pretty quick. So I ran it up through underneath, we'll follow the track here, but pretty much kind of came up through this little area right here. And then it has this little short connector. And the reason why I did this is because I could have just ran, because I have an Android, right? So it's got one of these USB-C connectors. I could have just run a USB-C connector all the way to the back, but that would limit me if I ever wanted to stick anything else plugged into the front up here. So I just ran a USB cable from the battery charging port all the way up to here. And then I just have a little bit of electrical tape just for adding a little bit of water repellency. It's not totally waterproof, but it adds a little bit there. So I ran it pretty much underneath the tank, had to lift the tank off to get in there. Now, one thing is really cool. This is one of the coolest things I like about this bike. Let me sit down. Oh, so old. So this right here is the fuel line. It goes from the gas tank down into the engine. And it's kind of like a quick release. So like literally you just pull up on it and it just pulls down. And, you know, it's nice to have a rag here just in case anything dribbles, but like literally you just disconnect it. And this gas tank was like really, really super simple to take off. And I really like it. There's like 2 bolts in the back, 2 bolts in the front. Just gotta be really careful. Make sure you don't scratch it or drop it or anything. Usually it helps if it's empty or relatively empty. In my particular case, it was full, but it wasn't extremely heavy, so it wasn't that bad. So that's definitely a plus I like about the Harleys is that quick disconnect. Because usually, you know, it's kind of a pain when you disconnect gas tanks on motorcycles, but this one was really good. Nothing much on this side. You guys already know about the Love Jugs that I've done videos on. My silver bullet sticker, love that guy. Need to get some more. I want to get a derby cover, different one. IronCross engraved one. Now, one thing I did here is I removed the heel shifter. Not a big heel toe shifter kind of guy, so I just make it easy on myself. I just took that thing off. Gives me a little bit more room on the floorboard, which is awesome. And I added a little spacer. And where does spacer come from? From Kuryakyn. Want to do a few upgrades here, but I'm trying to balance the cosmetic upgrades with the engine performance upgrades. Because just like with anything, a car, it's better if the car runs well or fast as opposed to looking good and running like crap. So I should like to, like I said, balance the engine mods with the cosmetic mods, because all the cosmetic mods do is kind of a coolness factor. So I wouldn't mind getting, you know, changing out to shift linkage, putting something cool in there, some flames or skulls, or I'd like to get a different horn because this is the factory horn. So we'll see how that goes. Right there, those are the Gatling tips for my RCX exhausts. Whoop. Yeah, there you go, RCX exhaust. And these are the 4.5. As far as installation, oh my God, come on. As long as you make sure you get a good seal, you don't have any exhaust leaks. It's like 2 bolts and then the one in the front, and they just technically, that's what I call slip-ons, because they just slip on. Everything I've shown you is pretty much, it's always been straightforward, easy to install. You know, it's all bolt-on stuff. That's the reason why I call it bolt-on, because you don't have to do anything crazy. You just bolt it on. So anybody, correction, almost anybody can put that on. Okay, I know I did a review on these headlights. These are my Amazon ordered Daymakers. Can't remember the name of the brand, but it was a Chinese knockoff of the Daymakers. They've been working great. I mean, there's a little bit of care because the lenses are not glass. As far as I can tell, they're plastic, right? So you really have to be careful with what you put on them, what you clean them with. Use a lint-free cloth. Use something that you would typically clean like the windscreen with. Just don't use any harsh chemicals. Don't put stickers on them, etc. But they've been holding up really well. No problems with them whatsoever. Super bright. I can see reflections off stop signs in the daytime with these things. They're awesome. Again, this is your boy Bly with IronCross Racing. I want to thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you haven't already, go ahead and press that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the bell notification as I release a new video at least once a week. Again, thank you guys for joining, and I hope to catch you guys later. Peace.
Oh, Miss Lucy dead and gone, left me here to weep and moan. Bring Sally up, bring Sally down, last done